Pretty good blood trail.
If you missed the last episode, there was a lot that happened. Kinda hard to catch you up on that one. What's going on now is that I'm in southern Ohio for the bonus weekend, which is in late December. I've hunted this property for a few years. I have yet to take a deer off of it, and I feel like this is the weekend it's finally gonna happen. The plan is to do a solo deer drive. Now hear me out. There's a lot of deer. It could work, it could not. Either way, it's been a long time since I got to hunt in the snow. I honestly don't care if it works. I'm just happy to be outside.
This is your first time to the channel. Thanks for clicking. I'm out on a late season deer hunt. It's the second season of firearms in Ohio, which is just a bonus weekend. Today is Sunday. I was at work yesterday, got off work this morning at 8 a.m. Drove an hour south, and it is gorgeous down here. There's this 350 acre farm that I have permission on. I'm only gonna hunt about half of it. The buddy that I hunt this with still has a buck tag to fill. I don't. I'm doe hunting, so I'm gonna look for a buck sign for him and just spend the rest of the morning checking into some bedding areas. I'm gonna do it strategically because the wind's gonna switch. It's out of the east right now, which I can get up this power line here on the far west side, and then check some of these benches and some of these bowls. But if I bump anything, I'm gonna bump stuff back to the east. So I'm gonna spend the day doing that, trying to bump stuff to the east, because when the wind switches to the south, from out of the south, I'm gonna try and get on a route to where they would come down to one of these pastures and feed. So there's a pretty decent plan. I got zero cover noise because there is practically no wind. It's just so slight out of the east right now. And everything's crunchy. It's 19 degrees. I mean, this could work, could not. Either way, it's a beautiful, cold, late December morning. So I'm just happy to be here.
Alright, just to be perfectly clear on what the plan is, I'm going to hike up that hill, and I'm going to strategically check and push out these bedding areas, stacking deer to where I think they would come out in the evening, where I will be waiting for them in an ambush style hunt. You guys might know this as a bump and dump, or maybe a hammer and anvil hunt. To me, I'm just calling it a solo push.
Briar patch after briar patch after briar patch.
You know the saying, easier said than done? Yeah, this is no exception.
After briar patch after briar patch. I do not remember a four-wheeler trail being here. Alright, so I'm sitting on the water break on this hillside. It's south facing. Wind's a little swirly, but I think I'm going to sit here for a little bit, watch these hillsides through the trees, see if I can see anything moving. And then there's that four-wheeler path that wasn't here last time I was on this property, but it goes to the direction that I want to push. And I'm going to push the deer back that direction to the east after sitting here for a little bit, and then grab a lunch and then loop around where I think they're going to get cover to and make that my evening sit. I mean, if a doe pops out right here, I'd shoot it, but that was awful getting back here. I don't think I would want to shoot it. That was terrible. Hopefully that four-wheeler path is a little bit easier. So, I'm gonna hang out, catch my breath, drink some water, have a snack, then push that out. Self-driving, new technique for me. Alright, I've been up here for about 45 minutes, and I'm gonna start pushing that way. I'm gonna take my time, go real slow. I can feel the sun warming me up. Temperature got a little bit warmer. Watch some of the snow melt off. I also hear some of this vegetation start to pop. So I know that it's probably quiet enough for me to side hill a little bit, zigzag back and forth across that ridge top. Go real slow, listen, film with the GoPro. If something cool happens, it's gonna get captured. So it's probably gonna take me an hour and a half, maybe 2 hours to go about 500 yards. And even that might be just a little fast, so I'm gonna go real slow. But got the juice, got the cameras. Go find a deer.
This is one of my favorite parts of hunting. Don't get me wrong, I'm a sucker for a good saddle sit in an ambush style hunt. But like I said earlier, I have yet to take a deer off this property, and I've been hunting it for a few seasons now. The same tactics usually get the same results. Hunting like this is a good way to get information. In fact, on the next episode, I use information from this hunt to have a successful muzzleloader season. Now, two of my favorite sayings for deer hunting are this. 1, find thick, find deer. And 2, the more information you have, the more successful you're going to be. So while setting myself up for success for this hunt, I also set myself up for success for the next hunt. And let me tell you, I took at least 6 takes to say that, because not only was that hard, but I have a stutter. And if you've seen our podcast, you know that. Narrating isn't easy, but sometimes it's necessary. This is so thick and nasty. So let's get back to that narrating thing real quick. It's actually necessary for good storytelling. You see, everything that is captured by a camera lens, although is the truth, doesn't directly express the emotions or the exact storyline. So we have to narrate sometimes to walk our viewers, you guys, through what really happens. We're not changing the story at all, we're just telling it better than what we could in the moment. Because sometimes you're hunting, you get distracted, or sometimes the story is just that important that we have to use narration. And sometimes, like in this instance, I need to get the viewers through one important part to the next important part, while realistically doing something dull to watch, like walking through the woods.
Looks like I pushed out a couple of deer, which obviously the amount of noise I was making, the crunch, no wind, and every briar in Ohio in my way. Wasn't expecting to get a shot, but this is the direction I want them to go. It's about 1:30 right now, so I'm going to finish my little loop. There's a power line I'm going to pop out onto, go down to the truck, let this area rest for a little bit, go have lunch, and then there's a couple of patches across the road that deer get bumped from this side, they go into that. So my plan is figure out what the wind's going to do, because it's still a little shifty. It might just be playing thermals tonight. And then get out to where those patches are, get a good bird's eye view of them. Probably only going to be limited to one. Probably go for the big one, obviously. And then evening sit myself there. But I got a sourdough and ham sandwich that's calling my name. That's where I'm going first.
If you're watching this, I'm sure you feel the same way. We don't need those Instagram pictures on the beach. All we need is a cold ham sandwich on homemade sourdough bread, on frozen ground, and a pasture to watch the deer walk into. Oh. Golly, girl.
I don't know how she went as far as she did. That has to be close to 400 yards. I'm assuming that was single lung. Ah, I was forward. Yeah, I was forward. A hand's width back, and I would not have had tracked this deer like that. I'm sorry, sweetie. But it's good deer. It's getting dark. What a wonderful day in the woods. Thank you guys for watching. Thank you, Lord, for another blessing in the woods. I love this so much. Even if I hadn't seen her, 22 degrees and in the woods on bonus weekend. God bless it. God bless it.
The shot was forward, but the bullet hit where I was aiming. 20 years of deer hunting, and I'm still finding flaws that need improvement. On the next episode, however, shot placement wasn't an issue.
Well, that's a first.
See you there.